This is the 2024 Hyundai Sonata SEL. How does it compare to the Honda Accord? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today, Carrie and I are at Morgan Hyundai, Mike Morgan Hyundai here in Shreveport, Louisiana, to tell you about this model and give you the answer to that question, or basically let you answer that question. That's why we asked the question in the title, so you can answer it. Even though sometimes people say, Tom, why didn't you tell us the answer? Well, if I did, you'd probably disagree with me if I gave you my opinion. So, if you want to know more about this model, check out the link down in the description of the video. Let's dig in to what we have. Here on the front end, we'll see really the biggest exterior changes we're going to find on this particular model. It looks a lot like an EV because you have the light running all the way across. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. We're going to try and find a place to pull into a darker atmosphere later in the video to show you that this light runs all the way across, but you may still be able to see it even with the bright Louisiana sunshine today. But it looks nice and it looks modern. And you're going to have plenty of LED lighting here as well. Let me back up just a little bit. You'll have your LED headlights and your LED daytime running lights and a very nice sporty look from front to back on this model. When you look at the lines, that how they're sleek, how they're sloped, you don't have a lot of squared off look to it. It's not like the new Santa Fe. So for those of you who don't like that boxy look, here's a good option for you, especially if you're not worried about having an SUV. You will find an active air curtain. In fact, it's probably easier for Carrie to show you on the other side. I'm not sure if you can see through there or not, but the air does pass through the front end. You might be able to see my hand sticking through there. But I like the combination of some gloss black here, and in the other finishes, we have some silver here as well. That looks really nice. So that gives it a really sporty look. Now, depending on trim level, there are some things you'll find on higher trim levels that you won't find here. Especially, we did an inline when we were at the Chicago Auto Show earlier this year, and you actually have a turn signal indicator right here. Not here on the SEL trim level. Not really thinking that's that big of a deal, especially when you get that lower price. You're probably not going to complain about that. One thing that really separates the Sonata from the Honda Accord, for those of you who are saying, man, I want an all-wheel drive Accord, right now, not possible, but it is here. In fact, that's what this model is. You can either get it in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Let's talk tire and wheel size. I'll get out of the way so Carrie can show you what's here. The width on those tires is going to be 215. We're going to have a 55 series sidewall, and that will be wrapped around what I would call a rather sporty looking 17-inch wheel. Here is the remote for 2024. That is a change from 2023. I don't know if I'd call that a more modern look, but it's definitely a little bit lighter. I think it looks good. You do have a remote start, which is going to be right there. That's one of those things that so many people are interested in, and I can't say that I blame you for that. And you know what's interesting about making these videos is sometimes people ask some interesting questions. One time I said a vehicle had manually folding side view mirrors, and the person came in the comments section and said, but you didn't show us how to manually fold them. I'm watching Carrie laugh kind of hard behind the camera, and I can hear some of you too, but in case you're that person, do I need to do that a second time? Tell me in the comments and I'll make a video just for you. Sorry, we just like to have fun here, okay? It's all right to laugh. You will find a combination of your body colored mirror caps here and the gloss black surround. Also your blind spot monitoring right there. They are power adjustable. Quite a few nice features here. We're going to have the trim down here on the lower portion of the door sill, down on the lower portion of the body, that really just gives it that lower to the ground look. It looks more sporty that way. I think that works very well. Body color on your door handles. Now this is not going to be factory window tint. In case you're wondering about that, I don't have the percentages on that, but I guarantee you it will definitely help improve your situation, especially during hot Louisiana summers like we have here. Now this model will not have a sunroof. Some people like that, some people don't. Obviously that is an available option by trim level if you want a sunroof. Personally, I prefer no sunroof. We will have the shark fin antenna that with this exterior color, I think it's perfect to have that in gloss black. And to finish things off, now here's one thing that I know somebody's probably going to say is old school, but you also have a pinstripe here that runs down the body all the way. That is something you don't see as often as you used to. As we work our way back here to the rear, we're gonna have our LED taillights. I really like what Hyundai has done here. It really separates Hyundai apart. It doesn't look like the back of an Accord, so to speak. Not that the back of the Accords look bad, but I like the fact that you have a unique look. Also, I like the way this rear spoiler looks. It's perfect in gloss black. It has, again, that nice sporty look. It just flows right off of the roof line and gives it that nice look that Hyundai wants it to have. In fact, if you look at the whole thing, it looks kind of that coupe or that coupe look that you might see with models such as Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, things like that. That's what Hyundai was going for here. I'm just telling you what's here. Not saying it necessarily looks identical. And we'll finish things off here with, again, that combination of the gloss black and the silver finish back here. One thing about it is that with the gloss black on the front end is you may still run into some challenges with debris coming up off the road and potentially showing damage. That does show damage a lot easier than flat black or matte finishes. Unless you're driving really fast in reverse, you sure don't have to worry about that back here. A big difference is going to be found under the hood between the Accord and the Sonata. If you go non-hybrid, which is what we have here with the Accord, you're going to have a 1.5 liter turbocharged four-cylinder. Here we have a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder. For those of you who are anti-turbocharger and you're not wanting a hybrid model, well, this might be a good option for you. It makes 191 horsepower and 181 pounds-feet of torque, and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now let me grab something out of the interior right here so that I can show you the window sticker and tell you the MPGs. So we're looking at 25 city, 34 highway, 28 combined, and 3.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. In case you're curious, let's take a look at what we have here with our gas tank. You also have something here that you don't have with the Accord. It's not capless fuel fill, so you've got your gas cap there. I know a lot of people like that. You'll also find that it has a 15.9 gallon gas tank. Let me throw this back in because there is one more thing that is different here. Now keep in mind, this is not the top trim level, obviously, SEL. Something you will not find on any Accord right here. To some people that matters, to some people it doesn't, but you don't have to open the hood and then go hunting around for the manual prop rod that you're going to put in place to hold the hood up. Let's talk about usability as far as if you want to go on a trip. Here is the button you'll push if you want to use this option to open the trunk. I do like the fact that you push that button, it's dampened, it's going to open on its own. It's not power assisted, it just basically works its way up, so that's good. The differences between cargo capacity here and cargo capacity on the Accord. The Accord 16.7 cubic feet, not a big difference. You do have 16 cubic feet here. One thing you will find here that I like, a spare tire, not unusual for a non-hybrid vehicle. And something that is similar to the Accord is we're going to have the releases right here for the seats. I'll let Carrie hang out right there and I'll come in here and move these down and out of the way so that I can show you that here is how you're going to maximize your cargo capacity. Actually a decent amount here, so some good usability for going on trips, picking up things from the hardware store that will fit back here. A lot of options. And let's talk about what your rear seat passengers are going to find. We'll start with the door panel. Let's let Carrie give us the armrest test over there. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs neutral. We're about to find out and see what he thinks about it. It does seem to be a little bit firm, but it's comfortable. It's not as firm when you put your arm on there as it feels if you push down on it. The door bin itself, well, really better suited as a bottle holder, I would say, but you could throw whatever you want to in there, or at least your rear seat passengers could. And one thing I definitely like here is that we don't have any gloss black in this area, and honestly, it's not even white right here. So if you're wondering about that, that is actually not white. That's all going to be a silver finish. So if Carrie shows you over there, you can see that a little bit better. Kind of a nice setup. Just sometimes people get in a rush when they're unwrapping these vehicles, I guess, and forget to take that stuff out. Now, I do like the fact that you have the design you have here with the seats. It looks sporty as it should. Now, these are going to be cloth seats. Some people like that, some people don't. It just depends on your taste, I guess. But I'll go ahead and hop on the inside here and let's see how I fit. At 5'10", you can see that I have some space above my head. I am sitting straight up. I could lounge down just a little bit if I wanted to, but it does seem to be comfortable back here. Obviously, these seats are in a fixed position, so you're not going to have the ability to recline the seats. I get that question a lot, just in case you were wondering. On the rear of the passenger side seat, you will find a seat pocket, but no seat pocket on the driver's side. And then on the rear of the center console, no air conditioning vents. However, you do have the USB options down here, so that's always a plus. We'll also find the fold-down armrest right here that doubles as a cup holder. And then, for you parents that are going to be putting child safety seats back here, I like the fact that all you have to do is push on that. So it's basically spring-loaded. You don't have to worry about removing these or keeping up with anything. That's always a plus. Okay, it's that time of the video to answer that nagging question a lot of you have. The price, what is it? $31,160. Let's see what else you get for that price. We'll go to the door panel first on the passenger side over there. And as is common with a lot of vehicles, you're going to find that you have a little more space, a little bit larger armrest, and definitely a larger door bin. And I'm sure that armrest is probably going to be comfortable just like the rear. Carrie's thumbs up definitely tells us that that is the case. And you'll have basically the same layout and design with one exception. Well, really kind of two interesting things here. One is you're going to have the speaker there. That's not that unusual. But you also have what would have been a vent window many, many years ago, for those of you who aren't old enough to know what that used to be. When cars didn't have air conditioners, yes, that actually did happen at one point, and I'm glad I didn't live then. But you could actually open that window to let airflow in at the driver and the passenger and into the vehicle. Had to really be uncomfortable when you were sitting still, however. We'll hop on into the car now and tell you what else you're going to find here. And as far as the interior goes, the biggest change is found here on the dash area. We'll find a very clean and consistent look all the way across, where you almost can't tell the difference between the air conditioning vents where they start and stop. You know where they do based on the control right here to change the direction of the airflow and all that good stuff. But a very nice clean look. And something that will be the same as you'll have in the Accord is going to be right here as far as size goes, 12.3 inches. However, what the Accord does not offer is the curvature right here. So what's happening is that's actually angled at the driver. In the automotive industry, it's what we call driver focused. Let's see what else we have up here. And I know for a lot of people this may look complicated. Let's go back here and do this. There we go. That's where I needed to be. And you're going to really be interested to know what this is. Carrie's going to tell you about that during Carrie's driving lounge. But you do have wireless capabilities for your cell phone, so that's always a good thing. You can go into settings here, and you can also, let's go back here real fast. You can go into your driver's manual. You'll actually get that on your cell phone via the QR code right there. But I really like the simplicity of what you have here. There's not a lot going on. It looks kind of complicated, but it really isn't. Go in the vehicle, you can see what all you can change there as far as your different features and functionality go. And one thing I want to show you here, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to let Carrie tell you more about what's right here and tell you what he thinks, but I'm going to go into reverse with the shifter right here. And you have the same thing you would have with the Accord, a multi-view rear view camera. I do like the brightness of the trajectory lines right here and the fact that it has a very clear picture. And you do have those three different views, as you can see right here. But it is nice and wide when we go to that widest angle right there. So that is a good thing. As we work our way down, we're going to find some of our one-touch features, whether we want to go to our map, which is here in case you wanted to know about that. Now, you will have to go and either use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can see the instructions there, but I just wanted to show you what was here where that's concerned. If you need to go home, you can do that. You can see all of your one-touch buttons that go all the way across. Now, this is going to control turning the radio on and off or adjusting the volume. I'm going to leave this control right here, which is associated with what's right here, for Carrie to tell you about later in the video. We do have dual zone climate control. We also have 3 stages of heated seats for the driver and the passenger here in the front. We'll get rid of that. And then we have our controls here for our USB capabilities. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to listen to music or if you want to charge, well, that's what you're going to change right here in case you're wondering why there are two different options there. That's what that boils down to. We also have, let's see if I can get this off of here. I guess this just wasn't taken off earlier when the vehicle was brought in, but I was thinking there is, hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, 12-volt power outlet right there. That's easy to deal with. Kind of nice that it's just kind of spring-loaded like that, so you don't have to actually pull on anything. I like that. I haven't seen that in too many vehicles. Now here on this trim level, you won't find a wireless charging pad, but you do have space there for a cell phone, or really two side by side. And then we have our drive mode selector. We have the auto hold right here for the brakes being engaged until you touch the gas pedal after you come to a stop. Obviously a lot going on here. Cup holders, a little bit of space in front right there for whatever will fit. I think a cell phone could fit there nicely. And for the driver, at least, this works really well as an armrest because you have the extension right here. The passenger, well, they're just out of luck on that. Just one of those things. Tell Hyundai if you want that to change. And you also have the space within the center console.
Hello, Vehicle Visionary fans and YouTube watchers. Carrie's Driving Lounge again today. Hyundai Sonata Edition. So this is another vehicle I'm not familiar with. I like to not familiarize myself with vehicles before I driving lounge them. I like to do that just as a new driver would do when you're test driving and you get in and you want to figure out what's going on. So let's hunt and peck our way through this. Let's start this and let's get into this and see what's happening here. So on your door panel here, you have your usual controls. You have your window controls there, left and right, your door and unlock and lock button, your window control, and your mirror lock button, your door handle. You have a speaker. You also have something I found interesting as I was getting into the car. I'm gonna open this door. There's a symbol here on the door that I haven't seen in any vehicles before that tells you that this door pocket is for bottles only. There's actually a symbol for a cup with a line through it that says no cups. That's interesting. So if you put a cup in there and spill it, you can't blame Hyundai. It'd be your own fault for not knowing how to read or follow symbols. So you also have on here your parking control button, your trunk release button, stability control, and your light control for your dimmer switch there. Down below here, you have your manual lever for your trunk. There's a dead pedal down here for your right foot and your gas and brake pedals. You also have here on the left side your release for your tilt, telescope, and steering wheel. Also, which is very nice for tilt and telescope in your steering wheel. You also have right here your turn signal button for those people who like to use turn signals. If you don't like to use turn signals, they're there anyway. You have your light controls on that same column, also for your automatic, off, on, and parking lights. On the right side, you have your window wiper controls, intermittent, and your sprayers for your windshield to put water on them or windshield washer fluid to keep them clean. Let's look at the steering wheel. The steering wheel, it feels pretty good in the hand. It's not very thick. It doesn't feel very soft like the Accords. Feels much sportier in softness. It is 3-spoke. I like 3-spoke steering wheels. I don't like 2-spoke steering wheels. On this center here where the airbag control is, there's nothing there. There's no, unless it's missing, it doesn't say H or Hyundai or anything, just a little silver bar with 4 dots in it. I'm not sure what that's all about. Plastic here, but you know, it is what it is. It's for airbags only. You have your controls here on your steering wheel spoke for lane keep distance, lane keep departure to keep you inside your lanes, your menu button for various functions on the screen. You have your up and down volume buttons and a little roller wheel for various functions. Also, you have your mode button on the opposite side, your button to talk on the phone, get the car to talk to you or talk back to the car to give it instructions if it does some of those things. Another toggle switch here, another roller wheel for speaker volume up and down. Here's a little star. Here's a favorites button. If you want something that you want to get to instantly, you can program it at this star. When you push it, that thing will pop up. And here's your telephone button for talking on the phone from one button. An interesting feature of this car is the drive, park, or the prindle as they call it, the drive, park, reverse button. So it's a very odd shape, if you can see. It's very oval shaped on the side. It's long. It does not move itself. It doesn't go up, down, forward, or backward. You control those from this button right here. It's in park right now, which park is right here on the side of the button, of this column, or whatever they want to call this thing. You turn it forward for drive. You come back for neutral, and you come all the way back for reverse. If you buy this vehicle, you got to remember that this does not move as a column itself. It doesn't go forward, it doesn't go backward. You only work it from the silver switch, which you have to wait for the ding to know that you are in the position that you want to be in. It's very interesting. I can foresee somebody breaking that when they borrow somebody's car and come back in the house and put this thing in their hand saying, is this supposed to be off the car? Take it to the dealer and get it fixed and make them pay for it. You have your speedometer button gauge here on the dashboard. You have your RPM gauge here on the dashboard, your coolant level, your fuel level right there with your fuel gauge door that tells you which side your door is on, which is the driver's side. It also tells you what the speed limit is right here. You have your auto hold symbol to tell you whether your auto hold is off or on. There's a button down here for that. You can auto hold off, auto hold on, which is very nice. Tells you your direction you're traveling, north, how much gas you have left to go. 142 miles this vehicle has to go. And inside of there's a drive mode button right here. And when I press that button, those drive modes show up right here on the screen. You have sport, my drive, which I would imagine that's some version of an individual where you can configure the vehicle for yourself. You have snow, and you have normal right there. Very nice. Different functions than the Accord has, but different, but very nice. Tom went over the camera features already. You also have, so you're driving down the road and you're getting kind of bored or sleepy. This vehicle has a sounds of nature feature. There's a button right here that you push, and you get sounds of nature coming up on the screen. Well, that's the wrong button. Where's my sounds of nature button? I'm going to find it. There. Let me go to the home button right here. You have to hold the home button. I'm in camera. What am I in? I'm in park. Let's go to park. Okay, sounds of nature. Let's get back to sounds of nature. So the sounds of nature says on the screen right here. In your sounds of nature, you can pick various sounds that you want to make you feel well, right? A summer night's rest is what I'm in right now. And if I change that, I'm gonna go to Harbingers of Spring, and I select it, and then I press the button, and it should change to the next song. Warmth of Winter is what I'm in now. I hope you can hear that through the speaker system. It's called Warmth of Winter now. I want to change that to Lively Forest. You turn the knob here to change it, then you press it. And for some reason, it's not changing, but Lively Forest, there we go. And there are about 8, I think, different sounds in here. On a sailing ship, City at Dawn. So if you don't want music necessarily, experience the universe, and you just want to ride around in different sounds to make you feel relaxed, that's what that is for. You also have up here, I'm going to turn that off. Your usual features up here, you have your dome switch for when you open and close your doors, your SOS button, your passenger airbag switch, and those are your dome lights. You have the visor up here with your mirror available to you. And they also have a switch up here where you can turn that light off and on. Most vehicles have this in the visor. When you open the visor, the light comes on. On this one here, you can choose that yourself. I like that. The visor does expand out, which I always like that in a vehicle to keep the sun out of your eyes. On the side, you have a grab handle on all 4 seats. And one of my favorite features on any car is the seatbelt height adjustment for different heights of drivers. And I do believe that is all we have in this car today. Thank you for listening to Carrie's Driving Lounge, and see you next time.
All right, here we go on our test drive, and one of the tests we like. Let's listen. Wow. Holy cow.
That was smooth.
That was very smooth and extremely quiet. That tells us a lot right there. So those railroad tracks we go over back there really tell the tale on the ride quality of the vehicle, and that was probably one of the smoothest, if not the smoothest experience I think I've ever had. Maybe Carrie as well. He is over there amazed in the passenger seat, and so that says a lot. That's obviously high on the list of anybody buying a vehicle like this, because it's going to be your daily driver. It's not something that's meant to be high performance. It's something that you definitely want to be able to enjoy driving. If you go on a long road trip, you're going to be a lot more relaxed after a long period of time. Now, the seats themselves seem to be pretty comfortable. It's hard to say how comfortable I would be on a long road trip for multiple hours, but most people are stopping every 2 to 3 hours anyway, so I think you would be fine. We do have the power driver's seat here and the manually adjustable passenger seat over there on the passenger side. That's what you're going to get here on this particular trim level. And for those who are wondering about horsepower, torque, what is it like to ultimately get down the road? Well, I'm in sport mode right now, and it definitely seems to be doing a pretty good job of getting up to speed when I need to. With 191 horsepower, you're not really expecting neck-snapping performance type of experiences, that's for sure, but you still seem to be able to get down the road no problem. And you're going to have all your different safety features, such as your blind spot monitoring and your rear cross traffic alert. All of that's going to be here. I don't have to even tell you everything that's going on. It's all here. It's all easy to deal with. You control so much from the infotainment screen. A very nice vehicle to drive, that's for sure. No matter if you're driving behind people who are driving way under the speed limit like this F-150 in front of us, or if there are people that are actually driving the speed limit. Now, one thing, I'm stepping on it here to get around this slowpoke F-150. Here's the difference between the Accord and this Sonata. We have an 8-speed automatic transmission here, so you don't get the issues of a CVT or an e-CVT if you go hybrid. Yeah, that's one thing that I can say about the Accords that do have the CVTs. Obviously, all of them do, either a CVT or an e-CVT. They're not as badly behaved as some out there. So that's a good thing to know. Technology here, easy to learn, easy to use, pretty easy to see out of the vehicle. Having that blind spot monitoring built into your side view mirrors helps even more. So really a very well-rounded vehicle. And it is nice to know if you're that person that says, I need all-wheel drive, well, you have that option. Okay, tell me what your thoughts are. How does the 2024 Hyundai Sonata compare to the Honda Accord? Is there something you like, something you don't like? Is there something you'd like to see on one model or the other that, well, isn't there? Might make your decision on whether or not you buy the Sonata or buy the Accord. So don't forget, if you do want to buy this Sonata or anything else they have at Mike Morgan Hyundai, there's a link in the description of the video to help you get started with that. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at the dealership for loaning us this Sonata for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you haven't subscribed just yet, please consider doing so. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.